What up guys, my name's Dart and welcome to what I like to think of as the dark arts of Clan Wars. No, before anyone jumps to any conclusions, I'm not talking about modding. These are the tips and the tricks that I've learned over 2 years of being in the Elite War community to allow fair play war clans to take on and beat modding clans. Now before I get to the tips and tricks, I do want to explain quickly what I've been doing for the last month and why I haven't been making any videos. So those of you who've been with my channel for a while will know that my max Town Hall 9 account went up to Town Hall 10, and that had a knock-on effect of meaning that this account, which used to be my Town Hall 8, had to go up to Town Hall 9 so that I could still make guides for you guys on Town Hall 9 attacks. So basically for the last month I've been farming this account and my main account and trying to get as much Dark Elixir as possible and push both of the heroes up to a point where they could war. So I'm pleased to say that my main account is getting close to 40-40 now, and this guy is up to, well, the heroes are going to 15 and 13 at the moment. So I'm very close to being able to make strategy guides from those two accounts, and I've also been working on a secret third account, which I'm going to introduce to you all on, well, hopefully on the 10th when the update drops, because that account is going to be going up to Town Hall 11. To allow me to make Town Hall 11 strategy guides. So I'm really looking forward to that. Basically, there's a lot of really cool content coming to the channel very, very soon. But in the meantime, I'm going to share with you these tricks that I know, and hopefully they'll help you guys take on modding clans. Now, I'm probably going to be upsetting some people in the Elite War community because they probably don't want these secrets shared. But what I should say is some of these aren't strictly speaking ethical. So if you're a clan leader, then discuss these with your clan before you implement them. And if you're not a clan leader, but you like some of the ideas in this video, then maybe tell your clan leader to come over and give it a watch before you try suggesting these ideas to them, because they might get the wrong idea. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with the kinds of strategies and tricks that a lot of people know, and then we're going to get into sort of the lesser known ones a bit later on. So we're going to start by talking about engineered accounts, which is cool because this account was an engineered account actually. So the best way to explain this is probably if I go and I show you guys a war account. So what we're talking about is war weight here. So if we have a quick look at Pradip, if we just put this down the bottom. Now here you will see that we have 100,000 gold available loot up there. That is what we call the war weight of an account. So the way Clash of Clans matches clans when you hit search for a new clan war is it will take the strength of all of the bases. Basically that 100,000 is what we talk about when we talk about war weight or strength. That is the sum of all of your defenses and your heroes all added up together. And that's how the clans get matched. That's also how you get positioned on your war map. And that score is ranked based on how developed your base is. It has small amounts to do with certain offenses, so things like heroes and stuff, but mostly it's about the defenses. And if we go back to my account here, you'll see that I'm missing certain defenses. That's because they have different weights, and these ones, the mortars, they're particularly important because they're the heaviest of all of the defenses, but they're also almost useless in Clan Wars. If you think about a mortar, it was created to help you defend against farming troops. So they're good against barbarians, they're good against archers, they're good against goblins. But they're rubbish against most war armies. They do almost nothing to P.E.K.K.A.s, golems or hogs, and they do absolutely nothing to lava hounds, dragons or balloons. So if I show you my base here, you'll see that I've only built 3 of 5 cannons, 2 of 4 mortars, and I'm also at the moment missing an air sweeper and a couple of expos. What that means is my base is matched up against lower Town Hall 9s in the war. So I can then go and attack better bases, but there's weaker ones which are my mirrors, which I'm pulling into the war for my clan to fight. Now the way you can exploit that, the way you can make the most of it, is if you were to build one of these defences, say the mortar. If I put the mortar down here, you'll see 8,000 gold just came out of my my storage, and it's under construction there. It's going to take another 8 hours. So if I now go to my war base just here, you will see there are things to be placed. So we now have a level 1 mortar, and if I place it, it's fully operational. Now if I save this layout and then the war starts, if this was during prep day, if the war was just about to begin, that mortar will be active during the war day. And then what I can do is I can go back to my farming base, I can cancel the build, I'll get 50% of the gold that I've spent on that mortar back, but it's still going to be present during the war day so long as the war has started after I cancel. The war has started before I press cancel. So that's how you can get what are usually called either pop-up or temporary defences. Now, it's not very useful for things like mortars because I've already said they're not great in wars, but it's very useful for things like expos and inferno towers. Because simply by placing one inferno tower on a Town Hall 9, if it's a Town Hall 10 obviously, if it's a brand new Town Hall 10, simply by placing an inferno tower, you immediately change how that base can be attacked. And it makes it much, much harder to 3-star it. Similarly, if you have a brand new Town Hall 9, like mine, which doesn't have any of the any of the expos placed, if someone wants to attack this, it's much, much easier without the expos. If I put 2 expos in on the prep day, and then I cancel them after the war day has started, that's going to make this base far more formidable. So, that is temporary or pop-up defences. Now, while I carry on, I'm going to put on a couple of replays just so you guys can see some 3-stars, because everyone likes 3-stars. So the next thing I want to talk about are CCs. So when and how to fill war CCs. The most important thing is that you should never ever part fill a CC. The reason for that is because during prep day, there's usually going to be someone who's looking at the war map. I mean, over the course of the war day, particularly if it's an important war, we will always have people who are browsing different bases and stuff. And if I see that there's, say, a Town Hall 9 account with only 20 spaces used of his clan castle, then I know he's got a dragon in there. Likewise, if I see a Town Hall 10 with 30 spaces used, I know that's going to be a Lava Hound, and I will mark these things down on my clan's Clash Caller or whatever the app is that we're using to make notes on bases. And I will communicate that to the rest of my clan. And if I know what's in the CC, that then makes my 3-star attempt far easier. If I know there's a dragon in there, then I'll bring a poison, or I'll work out how to kill it. If I know it's a Lava Hound, that's even better, because I know that I can basically forget about it. I just send in my air troops and I know it's not going to bother them. So these things are really, really important. They're the fine details, but these are the small things which make a big difference in type wars. Now the next thing I should talk about is troll bases. Everyone knows that you can set troll bases live on prep day and then switch them at the last second and then foil your enemy's plans. I still see a lot of people though using comedy troll bases, so things like Homer Simpson's face or a football pitch. Those are great on fun wars. Obviously, never swear because they can get you banned and they can get your clan banned, and it's just a bad idea. That's stupid. But you should never ever ever use a comedy troll base in a tight war or an important war. Because if I see Homer Simpson's face, I know that's not your real war base, and I'm not going to waste any time on it. But if it looks like a real war base, then I might spend an hour or two trying to figure out how I'm going to beat it. Then you've wasted my time. That is effective. Now the next level of that, and something you can use against modern clans, is if you have a really disciplined clan, then during prep day you can do what I did with one of my clans when I was leading it a while ago. Me and one of the other leaders, we sat down, we hatched this plan to copy all of the enemy war bases. So we told everyone to copy the war base of their mirror. I think it was a 30 on 30. We ended up getting 29 guys who'd all copied the war bases. They didn't set them live when they copied them, they just saved them. And then with 3 minutes to go on the prep day, we started jumping up and down and saying, do it now, do it now. And everyone set them live. Well, all 29 of the 30 guys set the enemy warbase, their mirror's warbase, live. The reason for that was basically because modding clans, they're going to be able to see your traps. So if you've built their base, obviously you don't know where the traps are, so you just place them wherever you can. But when they attack their own base, they're doing so with the knowledge of where their own traps are. So they're going to tip their hand. They're going to show you where they think the traps are going to be based on where they've placed them on their own base. Basically, they're scouting their own base for you. And also, if they do manage to 3-star it, they're going to show you how to 3-star their base. And if they don't, then it's still a good replay to watch before you go and hit their base. So, of course, if you do this tactic, then you have to hold all of your attacks for a while and let them do some attacking first. But it led to probably the funniest clan war I've ever been in. And we actually came out with a win. against a clan that we were pretty sure was modding. So I think we ended up winning by sort of 10 or 15 stars, basically because they failed a lot of first attacks against their own bases. And using their attacks as our guideline, we managed to 3-star a lot of them the first time. So yeah, that's a pretty fun trick. Now, the last thing I want to share with you guys, this is the one which I know some people are going to think is a bit shady. But in my opinion, if you're fighting a clan that you know is modding, then you have every right to try and use any kind of advantage you can within the rules. So there is a website called warclans.com, and it's a database of clans in the game, and you can use it to look up an enemy clan and see who they've warred recently. And that's useful, because if you find one of their last 2 opponents, and then you send one of your high-level members who is likely to be accepted, they can go and visit the recent opponents of the clan you're currently fighting, and they can go through all of the defensive replays and have a look at their bases. And you can go through, you can take screenshots, you can have a look where some of their traps are and see the attacks that beat them. And if the clan that you're facing hasn't decided to change their bases, they've kept them for 2 bases, for 2 wars running, which many clans do, then you will know where all of their traps are, and you will know how to 3-star all of their bases. Basically, it will let you, the Fair Play clan, do what they, the modding clan, are able to do, which is to have a look at your base before they attack it. Now, this is a massive trick, and it's something that a lot of the elite clans already use. And of course, what that means is, the last piece of advice I have to give you is you should never use the same war base twice. You should always have several good war bases saved, and you should rotate between them. Preferably, you guys should all be building, if you're in a high level war clan, and to be honest, if you're following my channel, then you probably are, you should all be building at least 1 new war base every single week. Build it, save it, and then never ever use the same base twice, because I promise you, if this trick isn't used by everyone at the moment, in a relatively short space of time it will be. But, as I say, the reason why you guys follow my channel is hopefully to put you ahead of the curve, and this is something which isn't being used by all of the clans yet. In fact, it's probably only used by less than 10% right now, so it's a way for you guys to get advantages in your clan wars. Now, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, then please give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions, or you want to tell me that I'm a dirty cheater, or even that you like the video, then please go ahead and leave me a comment. And until the next time, guys, happy clashing.